Hey there, Metal Maniacs. This is Roly from Sedulous, Rouse, Australia. You're cranking it up on the Metal Meltdown with Dave on Metal Messiah Radio.
Alrighty, Metal Maniacs, here we go. Please help me welcome to Metal Messiah Radio, hailing from Adelaide, South Australia, from progressive groove metal band Sedulous Rouse. And joining us, we have on guitars and vocals, we have Roly Moore. Welcome to the Metal Meltdown, Roly. Thank you for taking the time
Hi,
to be
Dave.
here. It's great to have you
No
here.
problem at all. Thanks for welcoming me to Metal Messiah Radio. Really excited about doing the interview. And thanks for taking an interest in our band.
Yeah, it's quite interesting how we just met up on Facebook. I had added you as a friend, and you had reached out to me and said, "Hey, have you checked out our music?" And I'm like, "No, let me check it out." And you sent me the Bandcamp files, and I'm like, "Let me check this out." And you said, "I'll even send you the hard copy." I'm like, "Physical copy." I'm like, "Oh, awesome." I mean, that's kind of crazy, being that you're from the land down under, and I'm from New York, and so that's insane. But the music, I have to tell you, I was very impressed with the originality of your music. It kind of moved me right away that it wasn't the same old sound that I'm used to playing or hearing all the time. So there's something special about your music, and I don't know exactly what you call it. I hear it's called progressive. I hear it's called progressive groove, but you have thrash elements to it. You have extreme vocal elements to it. It's a really nice package. So I have to say, it's great to have you here that we can learn all about your fine young metal band.
Well, we really appreciate being called original, because that's something that, I mean, we don't try and be original, only to be original, but we do try and do our own spin on heavy metal. We all come from pretty diverse interests, backgrounds of genres, so we sort of just combine the elements together, and it just sort of comes out as Sedulous, I suppose. So, that's really nice for us to hear that, and nice that people pick up on that straight away. As for what we describe it as, we just describe it as heavy metal, and with the progressive elements. And we only have one rule in our band: if it sounds good, keep it; if it doesn't, get rid of it.
Yeah, that's a good policy, right? And I see the band formed in 2012. I'm interested to know how did you select the band's name?
Well, originally the band was just myself and the drummer Danny, and uh, who's unfortunately now left the band. But we wanted to find a name that really spoke about positivity and about the attitude we were taking towards what we were doing. And when we first started out, my guitar playing probably wasn't as good as I want it to be, and the same with his drumming. And for us, Sedulous Rouse, if you sort of translate it from the definition in the dictionary, is a perseverance of application to rise up. And we sort of put that into our playing, that we want to get better all the time and improve as musicians and write music that's hard for us to play so that we can improve. And just basically have a positive outlook. And so even though our lyrics deal with some pretty dark themes, and we have some extreme elements, we also do try and push the fact that the world can be a positive place.
Yeah, and you said that your drummer Danny has left the band. Is the band still a trio?
The band at the moment is without a drummer, but we are
Oh,
working on that.
sorry to hear that. I
So
had no
there's
idea. Wow.
that's fine. It's just he had some different life priorities that he had to pursue, and we understood that. And we got the 2 albums done with Danny, which is fantastic. And without him, there wouldn't have been a band. So he's had a really massive contribution.
So it's you and Brandon on bass and backing vocals at the present time.
Yeah, so yeah, just Brendan and I, and Brendan does a lot of work on his bass lines and his vocals as well. So on the Valley Beyond album, he does a couple of lead vocals, and that'll increase over time, I imagine, because he's very keen on his vocals as well. So, and that takes the pressure off me, which is nice. Just concentrate on playing guitar sometimes.
Right. And as I mentioned before, it's great to have you here so that we could talk about both of your offerings. We have to mention, like you just said, The Valley Beyond, which is a 2016 release, and Seasons of Triumph release. And we'll be featuring music from both of these albums during the course of the evening. I enjoy both of them. And I'm interested to know on how you created your music. What was the process like as far as writing of the music, the words and the lyrics and the melodies? How'd that all come together? Did you do this on your own, or did the three of you do this together? What was your process like?
Okay, well, usually, like with a lot of our songs, I come up with what I call the skeleton idea on my own, just when I'm practicing guitar and making, just getting the riffs together and stuff. And then basically I'll bring it to the band room, and we'll start jamming it out, and they'll tell me what they do and don't like, and what does and doesn't work, and we'll probably move a few things about. And so we sort of have a fairly organic process with that. I'll go in with a relative idea of what I want to do as far as drums and things like that. But usually my idea is pretty basic, and the guys will make it much bigger than I ever imagined it could be. And we just take it from there. Lyrically, I write all the lyrics on my own, and then I work with Brendan putting them onto the song, and we talk about the ideas and where it fits best, and which bits would be best to double up on, and which bits should be sometimes sung cleanly, and other times really growled out. So we try and keep it fairly organic.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying the sound. And are you a do-it-yourself type of band? Do you do everything basically on your own, meaning the production of your music? Do you use your own studio? Do you create your own artwork? Are you pretty much a do-it-yourself band? Because I have a feeling that you are, but I'm not sure, so that's why I ask.
Yeah, look, we are like 90% of the time. We do have a guy we use to produce our music, Andy Kite, at Against the Grain Studios in Adelaide,
Okay.
and he's a long-term friend of the band, and he runs a great studios. He's done hundreds of albums, and so we use him. But as far as the production goes, we come in with a lot of our own ideas, but like you say, a lot of it is do it yourself. I did most of the design work for the Valley Beyond album, and all the photos in the first album, Seasons of Triumph, were from the drummer, because he's interested in photography. So, a lot of it is just we manage it ourselves, and just try and push it. Hence, me contacting you and offering to send you albums to spread the word.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. The underground, no matter if you're from New York or from Australia, we got to stick together and support the underground. Otherwise, no one's going to know about it. So we have to raise the awareness of this great music around the world so that the people all around the world, worldwide, global, could enjoy your music. So this is the reason why we do these interviews, obviously. And did you also create your band's logo? I saw one that had a very nice font to it, and then one with I guess it's maybe a certain kind of an insect.
Yeah, so the insect the original logo, which was on the first album, came from a picture that our drummer took, and he did the lettering for that as well. But the most recent ones that I've just sent to you, we got a guy actually in Indonesia to do that for us.
Interesting.
He contacted me just saying that he did artwork, and we were looking for to upgrade our image and our logo. So I just got in contact with him and told him what we were looking for, and he did a couple of designs and sent it through. So yeah, that was good. It was really good. It was cheap and good. So that was two things we were hoping for.
And it works well with your music. It's not too gruesome looking, like a black metal type of logo, but it fits well with your sound. So he did a good job with that.
Yeah, that's right. Like, we don't want to put ourselves across as something that we're definitely not, and we're not a gore obsessed death metal band, and we're not a satanic black metal band. So we didn't, we wanted to keep it metal, but at the same time also represent what we're about, not some preconceived idea of what heavy metal is.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was saying, it's not exactly what I consider like a progressive type of metal. Like I've known a lot of progressive bands, and they have a certain kind of sound, very heavy in the keyboards. And it's not exactly like a thrash or a thrash groove, but it's a combination of various formats or genres, if you want to say. And that's what I enjoy about it. You can capture a different style of various metals all into one package, and that's something that I enjoy.
Yeah, like it's, I wouldn't say it's deliberate, but we just sort of sometimes, we just say, oh, we'll pretend that we're being in a black metal band, and we end up with a song that we like, or someone just brings a certain riff to the band, and we just love heavy metal. And I think back to the great bands of the '70s, and like Led Zeppelin, and even Sabbath and stuff, and like all their songs don't sound the same. They've got a lot of variety in what they do, and I think these days that's lost a bit. You find a lot of bands who release an 11-track album with 11 songs which are pretty much the same song, just rearranged differently. And to me,
it happens. It gets boring. It gets boring real fast.
It does get boring.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I agree.
And we're not, we're in a heavy metal band. We're not on the pop charts. So we do it for fun, and we want to enjoy ourselves and challenge ourselves in that way. So it turns out that way, and we're pretty happy with that, to be honest.
Definitely, you should be. And with these albums self-released, I noticed that there was Cement Injection Records when I was doing research on your band. But is this a small label or independent label, or is this you actually releasing your own music? Could you let us know more about
This
that?
is this is us releasing our own music. Both releases are completely independent,
That's what I thought.
and yeah, so people can order from the Bandcamp site directly from us, and I will put it into the package and send it out to you. Seasons of Triumph is completely sold out at the moment, so but we do have the Valley Beyond available. But yeah, we are an independent band. If there are any labels listening, we're interested in offers. We have had some offers before, but they've not really been, viable for us. It's more been about us paying the label rather than the label helping us out. So
Yeah, that's how it goes. And being that you mentioned it, let me give the link. It's sedulousrouse.bandcamp.com, and you'll be able to get both albums there on one link, so that's very helpful. And also, you can check out on Facebook Sedulous Rouse. There's a bunch of numbers attached to it, though, but just type in Sedulous Rouse, and you'll be able to find the band page, no problem. Just want to tell them about that. So, have you been able to tour, or are you a touring band now that you have no drummer? It's obviously a difficult situation for you, but are you a band that enjoys touring or looking forward to the future of touring, or is this not your thing?
oh no, absolutely it is. We've toured in Australia a bit, so we've gone to what we call some of the regional centres, which are the smaller cities, cities with only sort of like 50,000, 30,000 people, and also toured to Melbourne a couple of times as well. For being from Adelaide, that's it's about 800 kilometres, which I think is about 550 miles or something away. So we've been there quite a few times. But touring is definitely on our radar. We've got thankfully, a lot of interest in going to different parts of Australia. International might be a bit harder, but we'll see when we get the new drummer and see how it goes. So
yeah, keep in touch with us so we know we can help spread the word that you have a new drummer, and when you do, and hopefully we could get you more airplay, of course, and hopefully someone that knows somebody that hears you wants to sign you. That would work out really well. We always hope for
yeah,
that.
definitely.
We always hope for that, of course. Now, you were mentioning that the Seasons of Triumph is sold out. Are you planning on re-releasing it?
At this stage, probably not, unless demand really built up. That was the first. That was actually the first release we did, and that was probably the first 8 songs that we ever played as a band. And so we put them all on the disc, and there was a couple of songs there that we still regularly are in our live set, and are sort of fan favorites, if you will, such as like Silent Men, and also From Her to Modernity, probably the 2 best songs on the album. But we really believe that the Valley Beyond is a more accurate representation of who we are and what we were doing, and also the direction that we're going in as well. We're probably going in a bit of a more progressive and more heavy all the time. So,
That's good news.
I do listen. Yeah, I listen to a lot of technical death metal and black metal. So that probably has been coming into my playing a bit more. But we still want to keep the progressive side of things in there as well, because that's a part of music that we really love. So
excellent. That's great. Yeah, we like I said, we're enjoying your sound. And what about merch? What do you have outside of the one CD you still have is the Valley Beyond, which you're very proud of, and you're sold out of the Seasons of Triumph, and you have the digital downloads, of course. But beyond that, what other merch do you have available for your fans, and where could they find that? Would that be on your Facebook or also on your Bandcamp?
okay, well, we're about to release our first T-shirt early in the new year. So in January or February, hopefully, we'll get that done. That'll be the first T-shirt we have available. We did have some stickers for a while, but they're all gone. But yeah, so keep a lookout on the Bandcamp on the Facebook, because we'll be announcing that fairly early on in the new year, and that'll be a T-shirt that'll be available in all sizes for everyone. So yeah, that'll be our first piece of merch.
Good news.
Obviously, this last year we haven't played a lot of shows and stuff, so we've probably been a little slack on getting the merch done, but we're amping that up in the new year. So
all right,
get ready for it.
That's good news. We appreciate that info. And I also went on YouTube looking for some videos. I didn't see too much. Could you let us know what your plans are as far as music or MP3 or lyric videos of any kind. Could you tell us more about any videos that you have either planned, or are there videos out there? I've seen some performance videos and little clips, but I haven't seen anything that I would call official.
There is one for Perpetrator off the first release, which is a clip that the drummer made. But yeah, other than that, it's mostly live stuff. But again, in the new year, we are going to start our own YouTube channel, and that'll have a lot more stuff on it. And hopefully, we're talking to some people in Australia about getting some lyric videos done as well.
Good.
So hopefully that stuff will be underway. Yeah, it's been a bit of a down period with not having a drummer, so we're just working on getting back into that side of things as well.
A lot of bands in the underground, it's always a work in progress with everything. So this is nothing extraordinarily different than the norm. So we understand that, and we wish you the best in the upcoming year to have everything fall into alignment for you, that you could get yourself to more success. We really wish that for you.
Oh, thank you.
Would you like to talk a bit about your guitar?
Oh yeah, sure. At the moment, I'm using a Schecter guitar, an American guitar. It's a C1 Custom FR, so it has a Floyd Rose tremolo on it. It's a fantastic guitar. It's a one piece, so it doesn't have a bolt on neck. It's all the one piece of wood, and yeah, it's fantastic actually. Like, it's the best guitar I've ever owned. It's very versatile, and the Floyd Rose, I know a lot of people have issue with Floyd Rose because they say they're difficult, but I think it's fantastic. It's really helped my playing, and it's a very sturdy guitar, and the tones I get out of it, I'm just so happy with. And yeah, I'll definitely be buying another Schecter in the future. On the first album, I did use a Jackson as well, like a Flying V Jackson, which does get a really nice chunky sound. But for the clean parts, the Schecter is far superior. And I pretty much I recorded all of the Valley Beyond on the Schecter, whereas with the Seasons of Triumph release, I did a lot of the rhythm guitars on the Jackson and all the clean parts on the Schecter. So on the next one, hopefully we'll have a bit more diversity in guitars. There might even be a 12-string acoustic on there as well. So should be some more interesting things. But yeah, I love my Schecter. It's really a fantastic guitar and a great brand. Like they do some really great stuff.
Excellent. I'm glad that's working out for you. And I think through our conversation, we've learned a few things about what the fans can expect next from Sedulous Rouse. But beyond what we've discussed, what would you say the fans can expect from the band, and where do you see the band for the upcoming years, for the years to come? How do you see everything panning out? I'm sure it might be a little stressful for you, maybe not so much about getting a new drummer, but once this all falls into place, how do you feel about the band in the years to come?
Well, look, I've got a very positive outlook on that. We've got a lot of songs written already. As I said, I've probably written, another 14 songs for the band to learn and discuss and all that. So this coming year is all about integrating the new drummer, which I'm not too worried that we'll have too much trouble finding one. And then touring definitely around Australia, definitely some shows around, and got some contacts with people who are interested in bringing us to different parts of the country, which is great. And then hopefully by this time next year, we'll be well into recording the third album. So that's
Excellent.
really the goal.
Excellent.
And then, obviously, like things that happen in life, I know our bass player's he's having a baby with his partner in February. So I mean that may change things a little, but we're all pretty committed to the cause, and we know where we want to do. And I mean, we're not going to go off on a 16-week tour of the country or anything, but we can always find our way to get a couple of weekends here and there and make sure that people are getting a chance to see us, and we're getting a chance to see them and play with some cool people. And yeah, so I think we're going to keep going, and just if we stop touring, we'll still keep creating music and and from my end, we'll still keep putting music out as well because we just love doing it.
That's good news, and you know that with all your future releases, talking about creating music, with each offering you have out there, every new release, you'll know you have a home here on the Metal Meltdown on Metal Messiah Radio that you can come back and talk about it. So you have that as well.
Thank you. Really appreciate that, and we'll definitely let you know every time something new is coming up.
We appreciate that as well. And what do you do when you're not doing the band? How do you pay your bills out there in this world?
I'm a data analyst for the Australian government, which is pretty different to being in a heavy metal band. But like you say, it does pay the bills, and heavy metal doesn't at this point. So if I could swap that around, I definitely would. But
yeah, if we could, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but we know how it is, especially the underground. Even the bigger bands today, the more well known, or you want to call it mainstream, it's a different world today than what it used to be. They're not really making the kind of money that they used to 30 years ago, let's say,
Yeah, that's right.
It's
That's
a different
right.
world. So yeah, everyone has a job. Everyone has to support themselves, feed themselves, and support people have to work to support the band. It doesn't, like, the bands today are not making the money for the people that they could support themselves. That's just the way it goes.
That's right. Like even the bands who people say are successful. I know I know the guys from Psychroptic, and they've all got jobs. As well as being in the band, and they tour the world all the time. But they've got to work. They like work as music teachers or studio producers, or they've got to have other stuff to keep it going. So it's a pity it is like that, but at the same time, with a lot of the bands who are doing well, they're working very hard, and they're making a lot of sacrifices. So, and I think the fans appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, maybe perhaps someday in the future, there won't be a need for money, and you just do what you do, and don't have to worry about paying bills, and just enjoy doing what you do. And like they do in the Star Trek or stuff like that, where they just do what they do, then the money is never an issue. But we're not living in those
Yeah,
times.
that's right.
Maybe in the year 2500, if things will be like that, we don't know. And it's not like that way now, and it's not going to be that way anytime soon. But if it was, it'd be a perfect world, right? But
yeah, that's right.
So it is what it is. But Roly, I want to thank you for spending time with us tonight on the Metal Meltdown on Metal Messiah Radio. I really do believe we learned much more about Sedulous Rouse than before we started our conversation. I've learned a lot, and I'm sure you have a lot of new fans that are tuning in that are enjoying your music and what you've had to say tonight. But I'd like to know if at this time you would like to say anything out there to your loyal fans that you already have established and your new fans that are tuning in tonight. Is there anything you'd like to say to them?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for listening to our music, and please feel free to send us messages of encouragement, or tell us what you do and don't like about the band. We love all feedback. We are very open and willing to chat. Thanks, and like I say, thanks for listening. We really appreciate it. Obviously we do this music for ourselves, but the fact that people enjoy it and people want us, like you want to have us on your radio show and welcome us and give us a platform, it's really encouraging, and we couldn't be more thankful.
Excellent. Well, it's been a pleasure for me, Roly, to have you here on the Metal Meltdown. I'm glad that we became friends on Facebook, and this happened really relatively quickly, where I was able to get your music. And thank you for sending your music to me, and I really appreciate that. I do enjoy playing your music, and I want to wish you and the band, and hopefully you have a good experience with finding your new drummer and recording your future releases. And I hope everything works out for you. And like I said, you'll always have a place here to talk about it. So I want to wish you and everyone associated with your band a great new year, and may you have continued success. May things get better for you, and as far as the band and popularity. So thank you so much for your time in getting this done. I know it's not so easy having an interview from Australia to New York, but we made it happen, and I do appreciate your time in making this happen.
My pleasure, Dave, and thank you so much for the opportunity. And for you, I hope you have a great new year.
I thank you so much for that.